The shattering of a glowing ball echoed at the hallway's end. Terrified, Mei staggered back, as if losing her last hope. A shadow emerged behind her, the ball rolling to her feet. What the heck? Meanwhile, Damei acted like a detective, scouring the man's phone for clues. When a scream from the recording startled her like a horror flick shock, she accidentally flung the phone into a kettle. Now that's turning a phone into underwater scenery. After a thorough wipe down, her phone surprisingly survived the swim few waterproof features for the win. But just as Damei turned to head back to her bedroom, the lights started flickering like a strobe party, and then bam. They went out. As she stood there utterly confused, a chill ran down her spine. Was she being stalked by an actor in a horror flick? Damei backed to the fridge, using its cool light to see. That's my fridge lighting project. But just as she closed the fridge door, surprise. Damei was right there behind her. It wasn't until little Mei spotted a sketch in the ground that she finally calmed down. Well, that's an unexpected treat. Little Mei bent down to examine the sketch in detail, and Damei asked, "Is this the monster you saw?" Damei's determined look showed she had an answer. The scene then shifted to Dao Yuing packing his late wife's belongings, preparing to store them away. However, Damei was relentless, believing her father to be cold-hearted and completely indifferent to her feelings. She didn't know Dao Yuing aimed to ease her grief over her wife's death. What a tragic character. Noticing his daughter was still unable to let go, Dao Yuing handed the items over to her. Damei took a box down to the basement with a camera, rewatching videos of her mother from her living. Sadness and memories surged again, but a shadow flashed. Damei stepped forward slowly, and her mother's figure seemed to appear in the distance. Her emotions spiraled out of control. Just as she was about to touch it, she realized it was only her mother's clothing. What a roller coaster of feelings for nothing. Meanwhile, with the help of friends, Xinba became pals with Damei. But during the cheerful chat, Damei suddenly started coughing like she was auditioning for drama. She rushed from her bedroom to the bathroom, sensing something in her throat. Damei grabbed it and pulled out a thread. Not even food is safe. Along with a wave of dry heaving, she discovered it was indeed her sister's lost tooth, which Damei promptly tossed into the toilet. What a surprising catch. Later, Damei, guided by the others, arrived at the storage room where the man was hanged. Xingbo stepped forward to ask her why he died specifically. As Damei entered to share the spot, Xingbo unexpectedly shut the door. The pitch-black surroundings gave Damei a serious scare as a monster suddenly appeared behind her. Terrified, she tried to open the door. Thankfully, Xingbo finally came to senses and opened the door. Angry, Damei punched her. Friends attempted to mediate, yet Xingbo refused, claiming Damei had mental problems. "What's this twist?" she said, then left with her gang. She even publicly humiliated Dao Yuing as a psycho. Over in the living room, little Mei felt a shadow pass behind her and strange murmurs followed. She crouched down, trying to hold her breath and become invisible, praying the monster wouldn't notice her. As she carefully sat up to survey her surroundings, she found nothing, until a long neck transform mirror in the game startled her. Just when little Mei thought the monster had left, she suddenly noticed she was lying on the TV. Her eyes widened in fright, and the next second, when Dad heard the sound and came to the living room, he found little Mei had fainted. Next, she was rushed to hospital. Having barely made it through, she's still shaken. Luckily, Damei's by her side. Damei comforted her scared sister, who said the monster aimed to kill her. Damei now fully believed her, as she had also met it. After calming her sister, Damei stepped out of the room, but just then, she got a call from the widow of the deceased man. The woman told Damei she had found a way to kill the monster. Damei rushed over to her house, only to find it filled with candles. Well, this is certainly a romantic date. There were also traps laid out in the ground, and as Damei scanned the room, the woman suddenly snuck up and grabbed her from behind. In the next second, she was subdued. Turns out, the woman intended to use her as bait to lure out and kill the monster. Despite Damei's cries and struggles, the woman remained in face, hiding with her weapon. A hushed murmuring soon echoed from the end of the hallway. As the candles flickered out, the monster appeared, causing Damei to tremble like a leaf. This was her first close encounter with the monster. Just at the moment when Damei locked eyes with the monster. The next second, unexpectedly, after the series of explosions ended, the monster fell, badly hurt. Damei escaped for now. The woman stepped forward to aim her gun. Just when she thought the monster was toast, it shot back up and grabbed the woman. As the woman fought the monster, an accident caused her weapon to misfire, slicing through a pipe, which allowed Damei to make her escape. In a hilarious twist, the woman was shedded by the monster. Damei broke free and ran downstairs as the monster lunged at her. She stumbled and tumbled down the stairs, sliding right next to a light fixture, where Damei quickly used the light to fend off the monster. This is my shining moment. Having narrowly escaped with her life, she swiftly fled from the house and immediately called her father. She warned them not to return home and to stay in a well-lit area, but they were already at the front door. Just as her father asked Damei what was going on, little May seemed to see something terrifying, and the next second, both were pulled inside. Realizing something was off, Damei raced toward home. As she reached her house, she discovered an alarming number of marks all over the ceiling. Simultaneously, the house lost power. Damei felt her way in the dark and saw odd lights under the door. Little May had tied fairy lights on herself. To escape the monster, she had hidden in a wardrobe. Following Little May's direction, Damei realized her father had been captured and taken to the basement. And a tilde divide by amount o strike there o acute a amount I circumflex cell hatchet noticed a amount letter 3ca amount acute letter fef micro a amount found poundness and covering a amount letter 3ca 0 is a 3 acute a token covered o grovo circumflex or a paragraph times divide by I amount letter 2c65 acute a circumflex poundness unclaimed as a quarter o grov letter 3ca made is poundness and obviously a amount letter 3ca u amount times o circumflex letter 2 3c micro a amount clearly poundness and I a quarter o tilde acute and in o amount micro and a circumflex is still lesser letter 4 b 1.3 amount a grov bray 1267 pound copyright. As the two explored on tiptoe, Damei suddenly stopped. Little May followed her look and saw the monster hanging from the ceiling, draining their father's vitality.